Good afternoon, track gang. Ron Montag here with a new update on the layout. Been a little busy, still around, still kicking. Just been busy, personal life and working on the layout. As you can see, I've been doing some structure lighting. Did a lot of structural lighting in the last couple of weeks. If you notice back there, that flashing billboard, that's one of them. I've been doing some modifications to my lift bridge. Got a few more things I need to do to it. I did some plexi shield insulation. It's kind of like plexiglass, but it's not plexiglass. It's actually styrene. It looks like plexiglass. But also I've been doing some electronic work beneath the layout and on the layout. Purchased some rolling stock, some new engines. Been doing some decoder installs, and some a few touch ups and things here and there on the layout. But this is Amherst weekend. I wish I could be there this week, but my vacation, I'm kind of pressed for the vacation time for the year, so I will make the events that I can for the year. But I will be in Colorado in May, and I heard that it might be another meet and greet in Timonium in October, so hopefully I can make that one also. But meanwhile, we'll keep in touch, and I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to get straight to the updates. Okay, like I said, I've been doing a lot of structural lighting in the last couple of weeks. The River City Textile, I finally installed all the lights in there. So that's officially finished as far as the lighting is concerned. This video is kind of not doing it justice, but on the tower side, if you notice the lights are flickering, that's not by dysfunction. It's actual lighting feature. So I wanted that feature to be in there, so that's why you got that flickering effect. It's a company called Evans Design. They make all kind of LEDs, and I just kind of was experimenting with that. So that was one structure. The hardwood furniture, I finally finished installing the lighting for that. This structure on the corner, which I haven't finished painting or have no idea the name of it yet. I got temporary interior lights. I got an exterior light also on the side of it. I'm still working on it, so it's just the lighting, like I said, inside is temporarily until I get the kit finished. And then because the roof right now is removable, once everything's finished, I'm going to seal it up and put the finishing touches up on it. And one other cool feature I added. So this sign is from Miller's Engineer, flashing billboard. I am a vet myself, but I didn't, the sign is not basically for myself, it's to, honor the veterans that have served. So like I said, I have served in the United States Army for almost 4 years. So it's not a dedication to myself personally, but to all those that serve. So that's why I really like that sign. The structure here, I haven't really named it yet, but I also did the interior lighting for that. It's finished. I got to do some weathering, so that's why the windows are not installed, because I want to do the weathering first before I put the windows in. I finally got around to lighting the tower. The tower is actually finished. The steps I couldn't find the steps for a while. They was missing. I finally found them. So I put the steps together, put the light in. So that kit is done. Finally put the light in the lower shed. The engine house itself, the interior lights installed permanently. I want to do some exterior lights, like maybe for the overhead doors, and maybe like 2 or 3 on the sides, and one like on the back on the overhead. Also, I installed the yard light for the yard, and the engine house, shed house also has a light. I finally got around to finishing up the track work in the engine yard for the engine shop track. So the pit been in, I had the pit in for a while, but I finally finished painting the tracks, installed all the pavement area around it. The tower, I actually want to install some piping on it, so I haven't got around to that yet. But that's the idea with that. The building itself it still needs work done to it because I also had decals. It's going to be have the name of the shop on most likely on the front and on the sides. So I haven't even got around to that. Some of the rolling stock I picked up recently. The Athens 60-foot boxcar, single door. I believe it's either around ready to run. I don't think it's a Genesis. I might be wrong. I'm gonna skip that one for a minute. That's an Atlas double door boxcar, 50-foot double door for Golden West, patched out for Southern Pacific. That's an Intermountain. I believe it's a Pullman Standard. I might be wrong. Don't get me wrong. But I believe it's a Pullman Standard 2-bay cover hopper. Just recently picked this up. This is another Intermountain 50-foot double door box. You see it has a cat walks on top. It actually has great interior, details. There's nothing molded on. The roof walk is actually etched metal. The doors, I kind of wish they open, but they don't. And here is the Athens roundhouse kit. I'm kind of disappointed with it. It had 50-foot double door box. It has sliding doors. But what I'm disappointed, if you could see, zoom in a little closer. So I have, most of my box cars are Athens. I have as far as back as the actual MDC roundhouse box cars and the ready to roll and Genesis. They all include the molded the flooring for the box car. For some reason, this has no flooring. It just has the metal weight. And I don't understand why, like after all these years and Athens got that part right, why this particular model don't have a floor in it. Now, I do have those floor kit pieces I can actually install myself, but really, like I said, I don't understand why they just stopped doing. Maybe it was missing from this kit, or I don't know what the story is, but it's kind of disappointing. Like I said, they've been doing it for years, adding floors to cover the metal weights, and for some reason, this particular one don't have the flooring. So one more. Well, actually, this is one of two new locomotives I picked up recently. So this is a Metrolink F59 PHI 874. It's Athens. It has sound in it. Soundtrack economy decoder. Got ditch lights, headlights. Now, the one disappointing feature about this locomotive, and once again, I think Athens got this wrong too. So this locomotive is designed for push-pull service for passenger cars, but it has no rear red marker lights for reverse. I don't understand that concept because it's like, that's like the main thing that goes with a passenger locomotive, the rear backup lights for in the push mode. Now, next to it, I have the Rapido version. Well, this is actually the F59 PH, so it's a difference. This is the PH, and that's the PHI. And I had this one for a while, but if you look, the Rapido model has the red marker lights, headlights. It even has ditch lights, and it has strobe lights on the roof. And it also has ground lights. Athens could have threw in the red marker lights. Like I said, I don't understand that. Why they couldn't do that? Why it was too much to do? But the Rapido model is nice. I do have 4 Rapido engines, 2 F40 PHs. This the 59 right here, and I have a B36-7. I had some issues with that, but that's about the only issues I had with the Rapidos. And one other thing too, not to sound like a historian, but so if you notice, the 59 PH, the number is 873. So this was basically like the last of the series, the PH series for Metrolink. And then you come over here, and this is 874. So this was the first of the PHI series. Now, I don't know exactly how many 59 PHs and PHIs Metrolink have. I don't know the exact numbers, or I'm not even going to get into that. But I know the PHs came from Go Transit from Canada. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the PHIs came from Amtrak California. And like I said, I'm not sure exactly how many they had of each. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Metrolink pretty much, I might be wrong once again, but I know they don't have the 59 PHs, but I believe they phased out most, if not all, the PHIs. But no comment on that if I'm wrong, because like I said, I believe so. It's been a while since I read up on the information on as far as the Metrolink motive power. I know they have some new what are they called, the F125s, and I don't know how many of those they have, and if they, like I said, if they actually replace the whole fleet as of yet. Also, I finally got around to installing the plexiglass for the lift bridge. Also painted the lift bridge a black and white tiger stripe. Kind of a safety thing. I mean, I know the bridge is there, and I haven't actually ran into it or anything of that nature, but for visibility, I guess. So there's one panel that you see is cloudy. It's not. It's on there temporarily because I have to curve the ends off. So this is styrene. It's not plexiglass. One piece of advice: if you're going to do this with the styrene, clear styrene, shave the corners off, because trust me, the first time that if you ever hit this point, any part of your body, you'll find out why I have the corners shaved down. It's not complicated, just shave it down, sand it down, and trust me, it'll save you some headaches from when you walk into it. I haven't done it because, like I said, I had shaved them down before I even actually installed them. And then I also installed a short piece here. So the reason why that track don't have one, because this track is technically abandoned, so it would never be a train sitting on anyway. But put the piece there, just keep the train from rolling being accidentally rolled on the floor. I mean, the layout's leveled, so it's not going to move. As you see, it's not moving, but just for safety measures. Yeah, so also in the comments section, if you don't mind, now this corner actually had another structure on it, and I was kind of playing around my boxes, and I pulled this one up. So this structure actually came off my last layout, and I put a lot of work into it, and I really liked it. But unfortunately, when I rebuilt this layout, it really wasn't cut out for it. I didn't have anywhere to put it, and I was playing around one day with it, and I realized, it'll fit on this corner. But the only issue is, I don't like tall buildings on the edge of the layout, and it is on the edge of the layout. So I'm debating, before I even get into the scenery and all that good stuff, whether I'm actually leave it there permanently. But like I said, I put a lot of work and detail into this kit from the last layout. It's all modular parts from DPM. I actually did some interior for the bays. It's kind of been demolished since I took it off the last layout, but no, I don't think you can see, but it does have some detail on the inside as far as the loading dock area, and the roof comes off, so when I get around to it, I actually do some interior for the inside. Hopefully I'll be able to see it once it's done. Well, I mean, that should be no issue, but that's the goal. But let me know what you think. If you think it's too close to the edge of the layout, or if it's perfect. I mean, I kind of like it, but like I said, I don't care for it being too close to the edge of the layout. And the corner back here, like I said in another video, the whole corner from like where the turnout is back there to the tunnel to right here, it's going to all come out. I'm going to replace it. I haven't decided what. So the goal is just to leave it alone until I actually figure out exactly what I'm going to do with it. Because I really don't want to rip it out and just have a blank scene over there until I figure out what I want. So I want to have something in mind when I decide to tear it down. That way I can keep it moving and, have something sitting there and some work in progress instead of just a blank space until I figure it out. And like I said, I have been doing work in this area with the engine house, with the track work. The pavement section needs some work. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to leave it like that or maybe touch it up a little bit. The yard track work for the yard, I finally finished up most of the track work, and as far as the ballast also. So also, well, this is the last new addition as far as motor power that I picked up. This is an Agnes MP15 DC, the DC version. This version doesn't have sound. I didn't want sound. Me personally, I'm not a huge fan of Atlas because Atlas falls short when it comes to detail. And I already knew that going into purchasing this. But the reason why I bought it, because I wanted one, but I wanted it to go along with this other Afrin engine I have. And this is like one of, I'm going to say it's like one of the first 5 DCC locomotives I ever purchased. It wasn't the first, it was probably maybe the 3rd or 4th. And at the time, I didn't realize that Atlas was so bad with the detail. And when I purchased it, I realized, like, man, this thing is missing so many Southern Pacific details. It runs great, though. The motor is quiet, really. It runs real smooth. I actually added the air conditioner unit. I was going to actually do the detailing for it, but then I realized like it kind of wasn't even worth it. Then Afrin actually did a GP38 with the same number, and I was debating whether to get that same number or get a different number, so I actually wound up getting 4802 in another run. But like I said, it's missing a lot of detail, and I don't really care. That's why, like I said, that's why I purchased this other Atlas engine, because I wanted a running mate for that GP38. And being that they both, bland on detail, it didn't really matter to me that, it lacks the detail, but it is a good running engine. One other thing I'm going to show you about the Atlas, because I actually purchased a Conrail unit also, and I ran into an issue. So the issue that I had with these last 2 locomotives I purchased through Atlas, where is it? Let's see, let me get this in focus. But yeah, I can't get it to focus in too great, but it clearly say on a box that says DCC ready, includes NMRA 8-plug pin. And so with this engine here, I actually purchased the engine and the 8-pin decoder, the soundtrack decoder for it. And the same issue that I had with the Conrail unit, it said the same thing on the box. And when I took it apart, I realized that they both had 21 plug pins. So I wound up having to order the 21 pin. So what I did with the Conrail unit, I swapped that decoder and I actually put it in the GP38 because I think I had a Digitrack decoder in here, which I wasn't happy with it. So the Conrail I swapped out with for this, and I wound up purchasing the 21 pin for that one. But the Conrail unit is sitting over here on the desk in this heap of pile of mess. So I was debating whether to add sound or just go with a mobile decoder, and it was kind of back and forth. So I finally came to the real conclusion I'm going to put sound in it. So I have the decoder on order. I ordered from Yankee Dabbler, so I should be getting that in the mail soon. And that will have sound in it. But like I said, originally I didn't want sound in it. Because if I had got sound, it would have came with a Loc 5 sound, or Lox 5, however they pronounce it. I'm more of a soundtrack, Tsunami type guy, so that's what I'm going to throw in there. I'm not sure the model number, but it is a Tsunami 2 decoder that I'm waiting on, that I'm going to put in this engine. Because a majority of my engines has soundtrack decoders, and I've been dealing with soundtracks so long. It's like for me, it's more convenient for me to work with soundtrack. I mean, basically, I can't even know most of the CVs and some of their uh, settings, offhand versus some of the like the ESUs and the Digitrack or NCE decoders. I mean, they basically do the same, but they have different settings. Some of them, and actually, too, also with the speed matching, sometimes can be a little tricky between different decoders and manufacturers. And I just found that Tsunami, or soundtrack decoders seem to work perfect, regardless of what type engine you're using or the manufacturer of the engine. They seem like whatever you drop in, as long as it's a soundtrack, there's no speed matching really required, and I like it that way. I don't like things to be so complicated that you get frustrated. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, so thanks for watching the video. I should have some more updates coming soon. One thing I do want to do in the near future is have some train running, like maybe a small operations. Show you some of the things I do. I mean, I do operations occasionally. It's just when it's a one man show, sometimes it can kind of be a little tricky, with the camera and running trains because it seems like trains tend to be camera shy when you're trying to film. So I get that ironed out and show you some running on the layout, soon. But do take care, do some modeling, and like I said, those that went to Amherst, I hope you enjoy it. Take some pictures and try not to spend too much. I know that's a hard thing to do, but have a good weekend, enjoy yourself. Okay, talk to you soon.